Hey, happy Monday, everybody. It's the week of Thanksgiving, and so I brought my trusty little kitchen helper, Elf, to talk today about Thanksgiving hacks.
Here
kitchen
we
hacks.
are. Good Monday morning to you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to recap yesterday's sermon, which was beautiful, but we have thankful hearts because we're going to have a wonderful meal together this week with our family, and so we just wanted to help you in the kitchen this week. How many of you are already prepping? That's definitely, it's one of the biggest meals of the year. I've heard that it takes about 17 to 27 hours to prepare the Thanksgiving meal.
That's a long time.
And 7 minutes to eat it.
Yep.
If that doesn't make you cry, ladies, I don't know what will. But as long as everybody's happy, so.
I have had some individuals reach out to me, both in person, on text, and through social media, asking about this bacon wrapped turkey.
Yes. So I will give you step-by-step instructions. Let's get through the hacks. And I'm going to give you the recipe and how to find it right here in the notes. Yeah. So it wasn't my recipe. I tweaked it a little bit. But you make it to your own, right? When you cook, you kind of find out what's in your pantry, what do you have, and you make it work. So, all right, let's get through some hacks.
Our first hack here, I'm holding a nice roll of tape. So
you put it across your mouth so you don't eat everything.
I was going to say put it across your husband's mouth if he won't stop annoying you while you're trying to cook, or your kids. No, we don't advocate for any of those things. Now, this is really a cool trick for people who aren't good in the kitchen, like myself, who I'm just asking. I'm best at the sink, just washing up after things, or maybe chopping some things. But there's a cool hack just to take this piece of tape and go ahead and tape up your recipes right on your cabinets at eye level. Why? So you don't have to look down the whole time, so all the flour and the baking ingredients don't get all over your great-grandmother's cookbook, and you don't have to use your phone either. So you could print out some copies or photocopy your favorite cookbook and then go ahead and tape that right up on your cabinet at eye level.
All right, hack number 2, I love this. So you need all your burners on your stove, right? None of us have that big commercial kitchen. So you have those 4 burners, maybe a 5th warming center area or something. But that gravy needs to stay hot so it doesn't cool down. And then when you try to reheat it, it gets scorched on the bottom. So I saw this hack. I thought this was great. So we all have like a Yeti or a Stanley or some type of a thermos at the house. So just pop that open, pour your gravy in here.
Ooh.
It'll keep it hot. And so you don't have to like microwave it every, 5 minutes to try to keep it warm. Put it in that thermos, set it aside, and then you can always, give it a quick little stir, and then pour it into your beautiful gravy boat and get it on the table. But this will keep it nice and hot.
That's awesome.
That's
hey,
a fun one.
Second use for the tape. Put a piece of tape on there and put gravy so your teenage son doesn't go ahead and tip that thing back and think it's hot chocolate.
Yeah, right. Because somebody would at our house for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
one thing that Sharice is really good at is being prepared for these big meals. So one of the other hacks is to prepare as much of it beforehand as possible that then can be refrigerated until that upcoming day. So I know when we were just talking about our week coming up with the kids a few days ago, a lot of that was just doing a little bit of work beforehand to get ready for the big day.
Yeah, I actually am writing a blog that will post tomorrow for Pendel, and it's about Mary and Martha and all the things that we have to do. There's the Martha and the Mary, and Jesus said to find the one thing. There's the X factor ingredient for every dish that makes it the moment, right, when you're savoring the bite. But Martha was so busy preparing for the feast and getting ready for all the guests, and it wasn't that her affection was not there for Jesus. She said, I do believe. I believe. But she was busy, and she was doing what was right, what she had been taught. And then yet Mary, on the other hand, could have appeared to be lazy and just sitting around, but she found herself at his feet. So, find yourself moments to be at Jesus' feet. And so while you're stirring and prepping those dishes, even if it's in the nights before, I'm going to even do a little bit tonight. You have your turkey out, get your turkey out to start thawing. And but find those moments like Mary to be very thankful for every part of that meal and every person that's going to be around your table.
And just an idea to consider is this: Jesus was sitting down because he was the honored guest at that day, and Mary came to sit at him, which he did say she would always be remembered by that. However, if Jesus was simply just at your Thanksgiving party, or dinner, I believe he would grab a towel and he would help you clean off things and dry off things, and he would be there to serve alongside of you.
Martha often gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
But sometimes
she was doing what she knew to do.
She knew what to do. All right, next hack is the mixers.
I like
okay,
this.
So this is really cool. So this is just a little styrofoam plate or a paper plate. You know, make sure you adjust it to the width of your beaters. But how many of you know, like, you don't have time to have the extra cleanups, right? And so this is a new little shield. So just have that. So especially when you're mixing up that little bit of cream cheese or a sour cream dip or something, and it's just you don't want it to go everywhere. So this is just a great little hack to keep it clean. And another one is, if you're using your big KitchenAid mixer and you don't have one of those shields for flour, just lay a dish towel right over top of that, because that eliminates that extra cleanup time to avoid when you're just trying to plow through all of those things. Okay, this next one I think is fun because...
Can I give a Christmas hack to this Thanksgiving hack?
What?
Listen, dads who have kids that like to, because when we go to Christmas, we'll be having the cookie
and
dough.
The icing,
This is a hack. Unplug the mixer and take this off before you lick it. Get the cookie dough off.
Good hack.
It's a safety hack right there. Brought to you by Pastor Kurt.
No ER visits. All right, this next one is a really great one, because when you're cooking the turkey or you're making Brussels sprouts or cauliflower and broccoli, some of that smells like a dirty diaper when your guests are coming home to visit. So how do you change the aroma of your house, right? Hey, Joel, how are you? We love you, Joel. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you on here.
All right, so how do you make your house smell better? Kurt, tell us how.
I think what you should do is take cinnamon and apples and some other things. And
orange
peels, and you can boil them in a pot. I've actually learned this elsewhere, and it will create a wonderfully festive aroma that will even cover some teenage boys'
stinky feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, I mean, lighting a candle will help too, but yes, actually trying to mask some of that heavy turkey smell in the house, and it does smell great, but the lingering smell of turkey and Brussels sprouts can be a little overpowering. So, maybe start to have a simmer pot. Yep, that's right, Ashley, have a simmer pot in the house.
So this next one is all about being festive and fun. You can set out, and practical. You can set out your nicest table cover with your nicest plates and really have it fancy and festive. However, if you still have some young kids that are at the house, right on their space, you can put some craft paper out that gives them a large enough space, put some crayons on the side, and they can go ahead and draw. You can play some Connect Four or Tic-Tac-Toe while you're waiting for dinner to be served, and just give them something in their busy hands, something to continue to do while the adults are enjoying their dinner as well.
Have them draw what they're thankful for. Have them draw a place setting, and it teaches them good table etiquette too, like where to put the fork, where to put their napkin, and they can help you set the table. So it's or beans, Joel. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, you're allergic to those. All right, next one about how do you fit it all in the oven?
I actually just read this the other day. I read some news that has some weird facts as well, and I read in a study that men score much higher at packing boxes in moving trucks than women do, but women know how to organize all the stuff that's in the boxes more. So one of these hacks is this: a lot of our pots and pans are round. But if you use square, you can work it like Tetris, and this is where the guy can get involved. You would say, hey hubby, come on over here, figure out, I challenge you to get 8 of these pans in here and use the square ones, and you'll be able to fit them all right in.
Think about all those square pans. And a matter of fact, I bought foil pans this year because I don't want to clean them up afterwards. We want to use all our pretty dishes, and that's wonderful. But, have a buffet instead of sitting it all at the table. And, people then can get up freely and eat how much they want and not feel judged of how much they're putting on their plate. Just use the foil pans, and then everything can be thrown out. And another thing one of my sisters, she does is that she makes sure she buys to-go containers for the family, and then send people home with gifts of those leftovers, and then there's not as much green bean casserole.
And then you won't have to give up your favorite Tupperware container and never get it back either.
Right, that's true. This is a really cool one. Kurt thought this was great, so you can take this.
I thought this was awesome. It says to keep your food warm in a cooler.
How about that?
Yeah, you think cold food for coolers, but if you put it in there, the thinsulation, whatever that word is.
We act like we don't.
Whatever makes the cooler keep things cold. When you put hot things in, it'll stay hot.
Yeah, the same really component of putting your gravy in a carafe of some sort. Yeah. Yep. All right, so this is my favorite. I'm definitely going to use this.
This happens to me all the time.
Yeah, and this is avoiding one of those frustrations and eliminating one of those hiccups when you're busy about in the kitchen. Okay, so you're whisking the gravy and you need to tend to something else on the back of the stove, and the whisk falls into the gravy. So then you've got to dig it out and your hands are full of gravy, and then it's beginning to bubble and scorch and you can't get to it, right? So put a rubber band on the end of your whisk so that it rests on the side of the pot or on the skillet or whatever you're using if you're making a roux for your gravy. And so this avoids that extra cleanup and you're not losing it in the pot. I love this. So this is a great one.
That's a year-long hack too for your spaghetti sauce and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the last one is just, if you can prep anything the night before, go for it. Yeah, genius, right? So chop up those vegetables, especially the onions, and wrap them in an airtight container, and then wrap that so your entire refrigerator doesn't stink. And if you can get your cranberry sauce made the night before, get some of those things out of the way. My mother used to forget the corn. Like, she would make the corn the night before, like the casserole, whatever, and then she'd heat it back up, and then she would forget it every year, or I forget it every year, is the cranberry sauce, because I make it.
I'm okay that you forget the cranberry sauce.
I make
Stuffing,
it. I make it, and then I forget that it's in the refrigerator, like almost every year. We sit down, we pray, and I'm like, oh, the cranberry sauce. So anyway, we just hope that these help. All right, so if you want to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, I'm going to tell you how to do the bacon wrap turkey breast. It's not a full turkey, it's a turkey breast. So here's how you make this. Okay. So you get your turkey breast, you can make sure it's thawed.
I'm starting to get hungry already.
Make sure it's thawed out. And so you, step one is that you brine it for about 6 to 12 hours the day before. If you've never done a brine before, it's just equal parts water and some salt. You can do a little extra pepper in there if you want. Some people like that extra flavor. So you brine it. So what that does is that infuses the salt water into the meat, makes it really moist and tender, and adds a lot of flavor. So you take that out, pat it dry a little bit, and then you're going to fillet it until you open it up. You're opening up the circle until it lays flat. Okay? So that's step 2. You're filleting it till it opens up to lay flat. While it was brining, you have prepared a wonderful stuffing of some bacon, apples, onions. You saute all that together.
Bacon goes inside too.
That's amazing. Right. So you're making your stuffing. You can use stovetop or you can make it fresh yourself, however. So if you do the stovetop variety, all you're doing is you're adding sauteed onions, apples, and bacon to that. And then you lay out your stuffing over top of the turkey. Any other seasonings, sage, fresh sage, and maybe if you want to chop up garlic or whatever in there. Okay, now here's how this is going to roll out. This is step 3. You stretch out a piece of saran wrap. You lay out strips of raw bacon. You take that piece of turkey that you filleted out, turkey breast that you filleted out with the stuffing, and you lay it right on top. And you begin to roll like a roulette. Like, you roll it closed, okay? You're going to need a little bit of twine or some toothpicks. You girls that are good cooks, you'll figure it out. Lay it face down, salt and pepper the top, any other seasonings you want, and bake it according to your needs. That's it. It's pretty simple, but the bacon always makes it better.
Bacon makes everything better.
So that's it. So I'll post something in the comments below of how to do that. We wanted to close up today with Psalm 111. Kurt touched on it yesterday as we were praising God for all that He's done on our campus. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think, too, when we're thinking about Thanksgiving, you might be in a situation where maybe you'll have a more quiet Thanksgiving at home, or maybe it'll be a basic meal and not the full meal. I think for us as Christians, we do want to remember, regardless of how extravagant or how simple this Thursday is for you, it is an opportunity, and the focus is really how to give thanks to God for what He's given us. So have as much fun as you can and connect with as many people as you desire to, but also remember, it really comes back to some of the things that we were talking about yesterday in Psalm 111. And just to go back to that, where it says, I will thank the Lord with all my heart. And then later on it says, all who delight in Him should ponder them. Ponder what? The amazing deeds that the Lord has done. So when we think about that again, I went a little overboard yesterday by screaming, "Thank you, Jesus." And I was just trying to illustrate the fact that we need to take time with passion, regardless if you're thinking it, whispering it, or literally screaming, "Thank you, Jesus." But to thank him with all of your heart for the simplest things that he's given us, the things that might seem insignificant to us, to some of the most amazing miracles that he has performed in your life. And really it is taking time. It says that he causes us to remember these things. Yeah. But so he causes it, but we still have to pause. He does the causing, we do the pausing. We have to pause to ponder what he's done.
I love verse 7. It says, the works of his hands are faithful and just. All his precepts are trustworthy. Yeah. We can walk in his footsteps and trust him. I love that. Verse 8, they are established forever and ever to be performed with faithfulness and uprightness. How good and faithful he is. I know I'm so thankful for so many things. I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for our church family. I'm thankful for our kids. I'm thankful for all the food that we have every day. But I do love Thanksgiving. Yeah. It's my favorite holiday. And because there's no gifts involved, because we celebrate all that we have all year long. So I'm thankful for you. Thanks for watching us today. Be blessed this week. Meditate and ponder Psalm 111. And then you can even jump back a few chapters to Psalm 103. Yep. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Forget not all his benefits. And read through the benefits of the Lord to give him thanks on that today too. Hope these hacks helped you. Look for the recipe and have a great week.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.